I'm an arms dealer. The state issued the training manual. I just kept reading after everyone else stopped. The trucks came every spring, and I pressed my face to the glass like a kid who already knew which side. My father gave everything to the mine and got nothing back. I watched that and decided it was not for me. A military magazine from someone's garbage. Soldiers in formation. I read it cover to cover and understood everything. They stamped the paper and handed my body to the state without one single question asked in my direction. I wore the uniform for the first time and looked in that broken mirror and felt something click and stay. 20 kilometers every morning before anyone was awake. The ones who stopped were never the ones the Army wanted. First magazine. Every round on target. The instructor said nothing, and his silence told me everything I needed. 8 hours at the gate in the rain. The state taught me obedience first and forgot to teach me limits. They pinned the patch on my shoulder like it meant something permanent. I believed that for 3 more years. He showed me the inventory system like a routine briefing. Numbers in, numbers out, and a gap nobody watched. Budget cuts. My name on the list with a 0 beside it. The state values you until you cost too much. He slid the discharge paper across and returned to his phone. 5 years of my life done in 40 seconds. 17 applications. 17 rejections. Military training is only valuable when the military itself does the hiring. $400 and 18 rejection letters. The state builds you for one purpose, then abandons you when it ends. Vasile called and used the right words in the right order. Warehouse, product, skill set. He knew what I had become. The envelope sat on the table between us. I didn't touch it for 2 minutes. Never reach before assessing. Agricultural parts was the label on the crate. Inside were 47 rifles the state had stopped counting. My hands field stripped that rifle faster than thought. The state installed that reflex. I was simply still using it. 7 minutes. No names used. One clean handshake worth 3 months of rent. The state's training paid off well. Coffee shop. Encrypted messages. Nobody looking twice at the man in the gray jacket. The best cover the Army gave me. Old officers know where the surplus goes. The state makes more weapons than it accounts for. That gap is the business. 40 kilometers without headlights. The state taught me to move unseen. I never once stopped practicing that lesson. I watched the buyers check every crate from the tree line. The state trained me to assess from a distance and wait. Documents on the hotel desk at 6 in the morning. The state taught me that paperwork wins more battles than weapons. 3 seconds at the customs booth. The state taught me stillness under pressure. That lesson has paid for itself many times. Cash on a hotel bed. No celebration. The state trained me to complete objectives and move to the next one immediately. New supplier, new link. The state taught me network architecture before I even knew what that term actually meant. They found the gap on television. I turned it off. The state taught me never to react publicly to any threat. New apartment, same method. Blinds closed, exits mapped, one bag ready. The state installed this routine too deep to stop. He asked for serial numbers. An investigator's question, not a buyer's. The state taught me that difference long ago. Shop window, reflection, crowd check, threat assessment. Continue walking. The state drilled this until it became automatic. A buyer from inside the ministry. The state selling to itself through a middleman. I recognized that architecture immediately. 7 days of surveillance before any trust at all. The state called it reconnaissance. I called it not getting killed. 90 seconds on the dock. Container closed. 3 people walking separate ways. The state showed me what clean exit looks like. 5 agents in my old apartment. 40 minutes too late. The state trained me to move before the operation closes. Phone destroyed. SIM eliminated. 2 separate drains. The state taught me communications are the first thing that gets you caught. New passport. Different name. Same face. The state issues identities. It never expected me to learn to issue my own. Vasile was scared and talking too fast. The state taught me scared men are the most dangerous variable in any operation. 3 exit routes on the floor. The state taught me to plan for failure before any operation even begins. Good lesson. Perfect inventory. 214 units logged. The state taught me thoroughness. I applied it to the last shipment. 12 tactical lights at once. I counted them before hitting the ground. The state installed that reflex. Still works. Face to the asphalt. 8 contact points. 0 resistance. The state taught me when a battle is already over. 4 hours across the table. 0 words given back. The state taught me silence is the strongest position to hold. 3 years of surveillance on the table between us. The state taught me to respect thorough operational planning always. 312 ceiling tiles counted every night. The state put this need for structure in me. It never turns off. 11 charges read aloud one by one. I sat straight through all of them. The state taught me composure under fire. Vasily pointed at me 6 minutes from the witness stand. I held his eyes the whole time. The state taught me not to flinch. My lawyer talked about state betrayal for 40 minutes. All true, none of it relevant. The verdict was written before he started. Death sentence. The state that trained me sentenced me for using what it taught me. I felt absolutely nothing at all. 4 meters by 4 meters. 1 strip of sky I cannot reach. The state builds cells the same way it builds soldiers. I walked ahead of the guards, back straight, pace steady the whole corridor. The state made me a soldier. That part stays. Empty cell, made bed, unread letter. The state creates soldiers, builds weapons, opens markets, never accounts for the surplus left behind.